Now moving to another part of Syria now, to the Golan Heights. Israel seized the region from Syria in 1967 during the Six-Day War and annexed it in 1981. The territory is considered to be occupied under international law. The Israeli-occupied part of the region is separated from Syria by a buffer zone supported by the United Nations. More than 20,000 Druze still predominantly live in 4 villages in the Golan Heights. The Druze are an ethno-religious Arab sect and most of them, identify as Syrian. Most Druze living in the Golan Heights also rejected an offer of Israeli citizenship when Israel seized the region in 1967. Those who refused were given Israeli residency cards but are not considered Israeli citizens. Our correspondent Tanya Klima reports from there.
The news from Syria is a constant these days for Wafa Patish Shaha in Masada in the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights. A Syrian Druze, she has family in both Lebanon and Syria.
Here in the Golan, we're watching very closely, and we are worried. We are scared about the future of the Syrian people, all of them. And especially we are scared for our relatives and families who are in Syria.
She talks to relatives in Syria every day. Just a few miles away over the border, people are optimistic.
How are you? Tell me if you're okay.
Thank God. We are very happy. We are celebrating. And I'm now in Karami Square. People came from a couple of places coming to Suwaida to share in our happiness.
But here, a few kilometers away in Masht al-Shams, right on the ceasefire line with Syria, people are also watching Israel's reaction. I'm right here at the ceasefire line and the buffer zone between Israel and Syria. Israeli military have moved in, and many people here see that as a violation of the agreement which set up that buffer zone. Israel said it has seized some areas which were left by the Syrian forces and that the 1974 disengagement agreement between the two countries has collapsed. Most people in this Druze town choose not to become Israeli citizens when the Golan Heights were captured and occupied in 1967 and later annexed by Israel. In Masht al-Shams, there are conflicting opinions.
First of all, I am pro-Assad. But what happened, it's not my decision. I'm sorry for what happened, but I hope that the situation will be better than before.
This regime was collapsed because he was unjust. He violated the Syrians, he killed them, he bombed them with everything, with barrels, with bombs, with missiles, with chemical weapons. I think there is no single regime in the world did it to his people except Assad.
Another worry is what comes next for Syria. Wafa is cautiously optimistic that the new transitional government will protect all communities, including the Druze community in Syria.
Now that Assad has fallen, we're scared because Julani was with al-Nusra, which was considered a terrorist organization. But we see how they are dealing with things on the ground. When they entered Aleppo, there's been no problem with the other communities.
Hopes and fears that are likely to keep people on edge for weeks to come.